Hello everybody. In today's video, we are going to be talking about the number one skill that you as an entrepreneur or as a professional absolutely must have. If you have this skill and if you are acing it, then nobody, I mean it, nobody can stop the growth in your professional career. In this video, I'm going to be talking about three things that make public speaking important for you as a professional or as an entrepreneur. And I'm also going to be giving you 5 things that you must keep in mind to become a ace public speaker. So what is public speaking? Well, public speaking is speaking to the public, but it's generally done by people who are considered to be an expert at a particular topic, and the audiences come to listen to them. So why is public speaking important for managers or professionals or entrepreneurs? Well, there are many reasons, but I will boil it down to 3 major ones. Public speaking helps to inspire people. Now understand this, if you want to be a leader in your professional career, a leader is a leader only when he has a following. What do I mean by following? Following means people who resonate with what you have to do and what you have to say on a plethora of topics or on the subject that you are an expert on. And if that following is not there, then there is no leader. Then people are simply doing what you are asking them to do because you have the designation, and that won't go too far. Following means people who believe in what you do, and that you can do only by clear and crisp communication in the public that allows the people to follow you for who you really are. The second thing that ace public speakers can do is build confidence in the people. Look, remember, when people come to listen to anybody, the reason why they're coming is because they feel that the expert or whoever the speaker is knows more about the subject than they themselves. They are unsure, they are in doubts, and when they're in doubts and unsure, obviously they are not confident about that subject, but they want to be coming out of that session more confident than they walked in with. Now, when a good public speaker talks about a subject, he instates confidence because he's able to say things with that much amount of clarity. And it's not only about the audience. When a speaker is able to talk about a subject very clearly and sees that the audience is becoming more confident about the subject, the speaker himself feels confidence about the subject that he's spoken about. So it also builds confidence in you if you're a good public speaker. The third thing, and which is the most important thing, public speaking helps you learn some leadership skills. Now, what are these leadership skills? Well, to be a public speaker, you have to be a fantastic listener, because if you don't listen, there is no way you can understand how your audience perceive it. What are the challenges that your audience wants answers to? So if you're a good listener, only then can you become a good speaker. Now, good listening does not guarantee good speaking. So for that, I will give you more points, but without good listening, there can't be a good speaker. The second thing that you will absolutely automatically learn when you practice public speaking is critical thinking. Now, the critical thinking is very important when it comes to problem solving, whether you're doing it in a business or you are a leader of a group or a manager of a department. It's important for you to critically think on scenarios, challenges, and solve problems. This critical thinking automatically happens to a public speaker because he needs to think through what he's going to talk, what is going to be first, what is going to be next, because he wants the audience to feel inspired and confident. The third thing that automatically happens is self-promotion, soft self-promotion by the speaker, whether the speaker wants it or no. This because when people listen to speakers and they are able to resonate, like for me, for example, when I do YouTube videos right now, I'm not trying to sell you anything. But if you are able to resonate with me, and you will be able to resonate to me only if you are an audience of a specific kind. So I make videos for small and medium-sized family business owners and for professionals who are either working in the family business or are joining the family business or about to join the family business. If you're one of them, then you will resonate with what I'm saying because I'm talking or picking up subjects that you really want to ace on and you know it. And I'm also talking in the language that is simple to understand for your kind of scenario. Which means that if you're able to resonate with me, automatically you gain confidence in me. And if you want to know more than what I share in the YouTube video, then that is when I will end up promoting myself softly, not pushing it down your throat. Now, having understood why public speaking is important and the kind of benefits it can give you, let's jump into the 5 points that can help you enhance your public speaking ability. First things first, whenever you practice public speaking, you must speak plainly, which means avoid all jargons. I will tell you, when I started my business in 2009, I used to go and present a PowerPoint presentation like I used to do it in corporates. And when people would ask me, what do you do? I would say, I do business process re-engineering. Now that was a jargon, but acceptable in the corporate audience. The moment I came into family business, they would feel that, oh, you know what, Hardik is doing something very, very scientific and complex. And I don't think we need that. We are still a small business. And I actually wanted to tell them, you need my services. So when you speak plainly without any jargons and you simply say, I help you do the things in the right way in my context. That is what your audience will understand. So it's important to remove all the jargons and speak very, very plainly. Avoid words like synergy, avoid words like vision, because these are very, very subjective terms. And most often than not, as a leader, you're talking to your subordinates who don't really understand this. So speak plainly. The second very important thing is before you go into any kind of conversation, whether you are calling for a meeting, that's public speaking as well, by the way, or whether you're calling your entire staff or 2 people or 3 people or a department, that's all public speaking. Before you get into something like this, you got to prepare. And what does that mean? That means knowing the audience. If you don't know the audience, you don't know which scenario they are coming from, then you won't be able to effectively speak to them. So you got to plan your content. What is it that you're going to talk first? What is it that you're going to talk next? When is it that you're going to ask questions? What are the kind of questions you got to ask? Know your audience, know the scenarios that they are coming from, know the kind of objections that they will have, and know the kind of expectations that they have out of this meeting. Number 3, absolutely basic, is to learn your material. In fact, I would say be an expert at the material, as in what is it that you are going to communicate. Now, when you are an expert at your communication, you don't really have to, on the subject, you don't really have to worry about changing the sequence and stuff like that in case if it's required. You are that much more confident to get questions and therefore answers. I am extremely confident about my subject. Am I boasting? Maybe I am, but I am extremely confident about my subject to an extent where during the COVID lockdown period, we don't want to remember that, but just because it drives the point, I would do webinars where I would invite questions on the spot, and I know I can answer that because I'm absolutely confident about the subject that I'm talking about. Now, if people were to ask me about finance and stuff like that, compliance and things that are not my subject, I would raise my hand and say, hey, you know what? I don't know this, and I think you should consult with X, Y, and Z. Now, while these points are important, the 4th and 5th point is all about what you should do when you're actually in the meeting or you're actually on the stage and about to do public speaking. How do you manage there? Very important 4th point is start with strong opening. People lose focus in roughly about 30 seconds. So you got to make sure that your opening is that strong enough to capture their attention. Now, how can you capture their attention? First, by telling them what you're going to speak about. So you could do that very, very plainly. The second thing that you're going to do is you're going to tell how and what is the sequence of your talk, which helps them understand, okay, what to expect. The third thing that you can do is start with a story. The story works really, really well. So if you start with the story, there is a suspense element to it and people are waiting for the next scene, right? So stories help very well. And the 5th thing that you could do is you can ask questions. Questions, the moment you ask, people start thinking to answer your question because they may be picked up, and that is how you engage with your people. Now, if you can harness all of this and create a strong start, you have your audience's attention for you to say or deliver the main message. 5th point, very important. Public speaking is considered to be the topmost fear in the world, as in people like absolutely fear public speaking. So you are going to get nervous from time to time. In fact, I'll tell you, I have been public speaking for last 10, 12 years. Even today, when I get on the stage, there is a tinge of nervousness sometimes that I get into. One of the ways in which you can get off the nervousness is by doing this. Take something in your hand. Normally, I would have a bottle of water or I would have my clicker that changes the slides, because the moment you have something in your hand, you have things to fidget on and make sure that your nervousness is taken care of. Nervousness is basically energy pent up in you, and if you are doing all of this, then you're utilizing the energy and not let it come in the way of your communication. So with all of these points discussed, I'm sure you are going to practice all of these points and become an ace public speaker. If you have questions on, okay, how do I do this, or this is a topic and how do I speak on this, or how do I construct, I'll be very, very happy to take those questions in the comment box. So please mention it there. And anyone who has a solution to the questions that are asked, not only me, can also feel free to answer. We will form a community of people who ask questions and go about taking answers and utilizing the wonderful knowledge that all of us have together. If you like this video, please hit a big fat thumbs up. If you've not subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button and don't forget the bell icon, because that way every time I place a video, you will be notified. Until we meet next time, all you fine people, go ahead, speak to the people, become an ace public speaker. All you lovely folks, keep propelling.